In this video, I'm going to share with you my journey on how I generated wealth on command to be $1 million achiever. Now, three things I'm going to share with you. But who is this video for? Look, if you are someone that wants to generate wealth, and achieve that $1 million that you really want, watch this. I'm going to share three things, okay? So what's number one? Vision. Now, we've heard a lot of times vision. What is vision? Is this whole fluffy thing, And when I started, honestly, I didn't know what vision was. I just thought what I wanted in the future. But maybe you're in the same position. If I ask you, what's your vision? You're like, I'm not really sure. And that's okay. And when I started a while back, it was just that. I really didn't know. So if you don't know what your vision is, no problem. I would say start with what it is today. If I was to ask you, what is that one thing you actually want to do today? That's it. Your vision can start from today. And with time, it will improve, it will become bigger, it will become this whole aspect of your dreams. That's absolutely fine. If you know what your vision is already in the next 5 years, that's also great. But I want to share with you why this is important, right? So in 2006, I came to Australia way back, okay? And my vision at that time was, I just wanted to come to Australia and get the best job, okay? Just wanted to start a new life and get the best job. And that's what I came for. And I said, I'll come here only for 2 years. And I stayed in Australia. But then after 2 years, I was like, hey, this country is great. I love this place. I want to stay on a much longer. That means my vision started increasing that, it's not 2 years. It's more than 2 years now. And then when I looked around me, everyone, I was like, you know what? My vision is no longer 2 years. It's be better and better in my job. Get the better role. So I started working really hard and I started climbing up the corporate ladder. And with time, my vision became clearer and clearer and clearer. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? It's not this. I'm growing in my job, but I really want to have my own business. And then my whole vision from one aspect changed 180 degrees to something else, right? It just turned. And why am I saying this? It's because if you are today confused what your vision is, just start, and with time, your vision will expand. And now, because I did all these steps, my vision today is to impact 1 million people's lives positively everywhere. That's my vision today. And absolutely, with time, it'll actually change again. But how is this related to creating wealth on command and being $1 million achiever? You see, when you have a big vision, you impact more people. And the more people you impact, the more wealth you will attract. Now think about this. Wealth might be, maybe it's just money for you, right? Or maybe it's family, or maybe it's love, or maybe it's, anything that fulfills you. Let's talk something which is not money related. Now let's say wealth for you is helping others. If your vision is so big to help others, more people will be attracted to you. And that way you can actually command wealth in your life. That's one aspect. So that was number one. So number two. What's number two? You see, to make your vision a reality, you need this number two, and that is skills. Now, along the way, I realized that just having a vision alone is all very fluffy. Yes, it made me work harder, it made me believe in myself, but I didn't know how to do so many things, right? I wanted to be the best in my job. I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. That was my vision. But I needed to learn skills. So what are the skills I picked up? I learned finance, I learned leadership, I learned people management, I learned how to speak better on stage, I learned how to speak better on camera, I learned how to close deals over the phone, I learned copywriting, how to really write copy in a great way that it sells. I learned all these skills. But why is that important? You see, if you keep stacking your skills, what happens to you in a company or in whatever business you do, you become valuable. And that's what attracts wealth to you. Does that make sense? Let me explain you another story, right? So what I did personally here is, when I was in my job, I'm like, I need to go there. But how do I go there? Like really high up. I learned the skill of how to sell. And I believe that was the number one skill that I learned that allowed me to really shoot up. And I would encourage you to really do that as well. Now, let me give you a bit more detail in this story. You see, I was wanting to quit my job. And when I wanted to create my business, I'm like, the number one thing that a business succeeds is bringing in revenue. And what's the best skill to learn to bring revenue? And I learned that number one skill is how to sell. And when I started going deep on how to sell, I started stacking up how to sell on stage, how to sell on webinar, how to sell face to face. I learned all these up, right? And that allowed me to win the world champion title. And I closed over $1.5 million in sales. And that made me attract more wealth and be the $1 million achiever. So number two, skills, very important. But number two alone will not get you there. You need number three. What is number three? So number three is value. Now what do I mean by value? Is, you see, when people perceive you, they perceive you from what they believe your value is. If you do something for them and they perceive that the value is higher, that's what they will actually really feel, that you are valuable to them. And when you keep doing that, your command for wealth will keep increasing. So for example, in my job, right? I was in my job for like 15 years. And all these 15 years, I grew up the ladder multiple times. Why? Because every time I did something, the perceived value was higher than what I did. And that allowed me to go to the next level. When I reached the next level, I delivered more value than this level. That made someone feel that, you know what, this person is not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be here. And when I kept doing that, I kept growing and growing. And that was in a job. Now in my business, I do the same thing. When I'm talking to my clients, no matter what I say, if it's at that level, I will make sure that the value they perceive is here. So I will deliver at that level even though I'm charging at that level. And that is what makes the deal so irresistible, that they will see the value that you deliver. And if you keep doing this, giving more value than you are actually saying you would do, you will start generating a lot of wealth in your life. So I hope that made sense. Let me repeat. There are three things. Number one, vision. Number two, skills. Number three, value. If you enjoyed this video, give me the thumbs up, comment below. And yeah, if you really want to enjoy learning how to actually sell and connect and increase your wealth with time, there's a link below to my free masterclass. Click that. Let's work together. All the best. Till the next video, ABC, always be connecting. Bye.